Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am Amalgam Ash, and I'm here with a quick message to let you know that you can now join the RPG in a Box Game Jam, hosted by Omega Light 27 and Saturn. This jam is going to start October 1st and runs until October 8th, and the theme of the jam is Monster Mash. Basically, take any two classic or traditional monsters and put them in your game. They don't have to be against each other. They don't have to be against you. They just have to be in the game in some prevalent context. I'll put a link in the description below to the jam page, and I would highly encourage you to join if you have used RPG in a Box. So let's check out some of the details on the actual itch jam page. The theme is Monster Mash. This means your submission must have two different types of traditional horror monsters. You are free to decide what kind of game it is: puzzle, platformer, action, RPG, story only, and so on. These two monsters do not have to fight each other, but they can if you so choose. To keep it simple, it must be horror. It must have two different horror monsters, and it must be made with the RPG in a Box game engine. That's the important part there for sure. The game jam will run from October 1st to October 8th. We will allow late submissions for special circumstances. Note, please do not include content you have previously made before October 1st of this year in your submission. The goal of the game jam is that the judges will rate your projects based on only having 1 week to work. Now, I am not hosting this particular game jam. However, I have been graciously invited to be a guest judge for the jam. So I will actually be judging all of the entries on the criterion of creativity. There are some other rules that we're going to read over really quick, so we make sure that we follow those if we are going to enter this game jam. There's just 7 of them. Very quickly, it has to be created in RPG in a Box. If you use any pre-made assets, you must list them in the description of the game, and you must have the rights to use said assets. 2, if for some reason there's suspicion that your project was not made in RPG in a Box, a third party will check your project files for verification. That is actually really easy to do. It's very easy to identify an RPG in a Box game, so no passing off some game made in another engine as an RPG in a Box game. 3, you may not work in teams. This is for solo devs only, so that the jam is fair for everybody who wants to take part in it. 4, no stealing projects and no using old projects. Basically, you're encouraged to make everything from scratch. 5, no NSFW content of any kind, no nudity, and so on. If a submission is found to be offensive or distasteful with the guidelines in any way, it will be removed and disqualified from the game jam. A note on Rule 4 as well: pre-made assets from the RPG in a Box asset library are allowed because everybody who has RPG in a Box does have access to that library, and so it's pretty much fair game. 6, legal. Anything you make during the horror Monster Mash is your property. This game jam hosts claim no rights or ownership of your game. And that's good to include in there because somebody was going to ask. 7, any game submitted to a horror Monster Mash game jam may be shown on the RPG in a Box Discord and social media without your express permission. I hope that they can reword this one myself, actually. I would say like 7. You agree that any project or game that you submit to a horror Monster Mash game jam may be shown on the RPG in a Box Discord and other social media such as YouTube. All right, awards and rewards. For first place, you'll get a $30 Steam gift card. Second place, you'll get a $20 Steam card. And third place, you'll get a $10 Steam card. Rewards will be in the form of a Steam code, which will be given out by October 18th to give the judges time to evaluate the games submitted. And then, of course, here are all the socials and all the links to the RPG in a Box website, Discord, and to various tutorials that you can check out, just in case you're a little rusty or you need some help with some fundamentals in getting your game up and running to be able to be submitted to this game jam. As with any other game jam, I highly encourage you to check this out and to consider making a project of any scale to submit to it. Even if you want to do something really small, like a single room with just the 2 monsters as the only NPCs in the game, or perhaps you are one of the monsters and the other monster is the only other NPC, and you walk up to him and say hi, I would encourage you to have that as an entry. I mean, even if you think that all of the other entries are going to be Final Fantasy or Grand Theft Auto quality entries, the reality is a lot of folks just don't submit stuff because they don't feel like they can match this imaginary goalpost in their head about what kind of standards there are for the jam. The rules were listed. The rules were quite clear. I think you can make something very simple, very easy, very fundamental without having to overextend yourself in order to submit a project to the jam. So if there's any interest at all, a speck, an iota of interest in joining this jam, you should totally do so. You get to pick out 2 awesome monsters of your choice to put in there. Now, they did say traditional monster, and I don't exactly know what that means, but I saw some examples given in the Discord, so I think that, like, the inclusion of one of the classic movie monsters, like the Mummy, Werewolf, Frankenstein, Vampire, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, heck, maybe even Godzilla counts. Those are monsters that I would consider to be fair game. They did say traditional, though, so it's really hard to figure out where the limitations of that could be. I'd keep an eye on this page in case more details are added, and yeah, just make sure to join. Keep an eye out on this channel as well for gameplays of the games, because I'm absolutely going to be playing all of the entries that are submitted to this game jam right here. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Comment anything you'd like down below. Go check out the jam. I hope you'll join it. And until next time, have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.